Hi, good morning, Lemonade Chick. Life Silkies, Jenny. Hello, MT Native. Good morning. I'm early. I wanted to get on here before people wake up. I want to talk to you all before the you know, the other people have a chance to get over here. Making coffee. My stainless steel French press my dad gave me. Morning, Vaughn. Yeah, before they wake up. That was my thought. I'm still a little bit late though. Boy, they had a lot to say last night, didn't they? But what I really want to talk about is, did any of you watch the you do did anybody watch Buffalo Man last night? This is an interesting thing that's happening. Didn't watch what they said. Oh, Jenny, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that happened to you. But since you're here, the fact that I got paid yesterday, let me show you what I'm talking about. Somebody, Jenny, got on my Amazon list and sent me some things, and I'm so excited. Can you guys see this? I don't know if I'm back far enough. Can you see that? Could you see it? Is that you, Jenny? Was that you? And look, so exciting. I'm a true patriot now. I have flags. True patriot. So my daughter's Army too, so she wants to fly the Army one here at the house. But my granddaughter, the package came in, oh, and there was something else in the package too. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. It was so exciting. There's something else in the package too, but I don't want to show it to you until it's in its purpose. But my granddaughter, the package came with my daughter's name on it for some reason because we all use the same Amazon account. So my granddaughter comes down and says, Tutu, why is Jenny sending my mom random stuff? So then my daughter came down and she said, well, when I saw the women's rights flag, I thought it was probably for you. So again, thank you, Jenny. I got paid. I got paid. Let me get my coffee. I'm so thirsty this morning. It's raining, but it's dry. Does that make sense? It's raining, but the air is really dry. Okay. Oh my gosh. There's so much I want to talk about. I don't even know how I'm going to get started. I do want to say I'm trying to catch up on emails and Twitter DMs. And I want to tell you all that I appreciate each and every one. I appreciate each and every one of you that writes me. We're going to talk about my hair. That writes me messages. And when I wasn't feeling, I can't stand it. I hate it. I'm so mad about it. Um, when I'm sick and you guys write me messages and you say you miss me, and when I'm just silent for a few days and you let me know that you miss me. Thanks about the hair, but I don't like it. It's not right. It was supposed to be, it wasn't supposed, it was supposed to be galaxy hair, black, blue, dark colors, not mermaid hair. And the cut is horrible. Look, these lines aren't straight. And look at this. What's this? This is like somebody took scissors to their baby doll. What is this shit? And so I'm trying to get it fixed, but I didn't want the same lady to work on it because she books more than one client at a time. And I think that was part of the problem. She doesn't have the time and attention. And then, well, I adore mermaids too, but it's winter. I wanted winter hair. And she would not book just one person even to fix my hair. So I asked if somebody else could fix it, and they said not until the 20th. So I think I'm just gonna go somewhere else. Again, thank you for all the emails and messages. Thank you for letting me know you miss me, you like my videos. It helps. It helps. It helps. Helps keep motivation. And let's see what else happened. Looking around to get clues. Oh, I apologize that you didn't get to wash the dog. I got too tired that day. Good morning, Trish. And then my granddaughter decided she wanted to help me, and my daughter doesn't want her on video right now, and that's fine. So I got a book. Do you guys want to check out this? I thought we would check out this book because Signs of Resistance. Is that right when it goes in your camera, or do I have to do it the other way? A History of Protests in America. Does anybody have any information or any time to do research today? Today or tomorrow? Maybe make some phone calls. I'm real interested, while I'm going over this book, I'm real interested in, is my stove burner off? I'll go check. Yes. Yes, it's off, but thank you. Oh, goodness sakes, you guys. Okay. This is my my Christmas plaid. Miklos used to have pajamas to match when he was a puppy. One of my panics. Do you guys have that panic where, like, you get in the car to go to town and you just know that you left something on? And back in the day, everything didn't turn off by itself. So we would have to spin around and go home and make sure everything was turned off. And I used to have those panics all the time. Okay, so signs of resistance, a visual history of protest in America. I've been trying to do some research on protesting and laws and legal help. And did you got an American Girl? Did you get a cup? This is how legends are made. So, let me read the introduction. There's a drawing. Watching, waiting, dreaming. Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. Isn't it a trip that Santa's always trying to quote Martin Luther King? What do you think of that? Let me find my glasses. You guys, I want you to tell me, those of you that know what's going on, tell me what you think about this Buffalo Man activity. Hurry before everybody gets here. He's trying not to. Oh, that's why he's using Martin Luther King. Okay, this book came out in, because that's significant. This book came out in 2018. So it's not old. It's not the most current, but it's not old. All right. Well, his live popped up. I was getting ready to go to bed, and his live popped up. And it was very, very interesting. So one thing, he's still disassociating from 76. However, he's still listed as a member and a streamer. He's still listed as a Santa's helper. So, how do you rectify that in your mind? He's not a 76er, but he's their official live streamer and member. He is hi Shannon, on hi Rumrose. Yes, he's a wannabe. He's seriously delusional. Buffalo Man's in Mag's group. You know what's interesting? How Mags and Buffalo Man go to Red's chat to boost their channels. Okay, so Buffalo Man is going to protest a church on Sunday in Virginia Beach. Guess where I am? I'm in Virginia. Okay, so it's called the Rock Church. And this is interesting because, okay, there's two things that are interesting about this. One, why is he picking up on the pedo hunting? He wasn't hunting pedos before. Now all of a sudden he's a pedo hunter because he likes to protest the pride events or the drag shows. Okay, two, well, I think he's a copycat. He's a copycat, but this is what he says happened, and I'll give him credit, fair. Somebody, I guess, has seen the work that he's doing, protesting so-called groomers at the Proud Boy events, and so they contacted him, and they wanted to know if he would, participate in this protest, and it's called the Enough is Enough protest. If anybody has time to do any research, this is what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'll do it because I've had, I need to get it done. But anyway, the service is Sunday at 9:30, or that's when they plan on getting there, I guess. Yeah. I mean, Red, Jay, Mags, Bandit, um, Wizzy. They're all in all the same chats. Okay, so the name of the the name of the pastor is John Blanchard. And if you Google Blanchard Rock churches, I think there's several, but this one in Virginia Beach, the pastor, um, John Blanchard, stepped down because he got charged with a multitude of sex offenses. Yes, there's text messages. Somebody needs to go watch. I'm gonna have to watch Buffy stream again to get some more information. But in my opinion, this is the kind of stuff we should be going after. Pastors in churches that are pedophiles, not drag queens dressed up in costume reading stories. Um, okay, so they're saying that they have text messages from between him and a 17-year-old girl. They're so full of shit about that letter. There's no letter. If there was a letter, it would be part of the record. Why would a letter be sealed? Why? That's such bullshit. If you're yelling while streaming, you are a protester. Oh, is that what determines protesting? I don't believe there's any letter. Okay. So, supposedly, this is how Buffalo says that somebody saw his activity. Sorry, my throat is a little bit sore this morning. Probably because it's dry. After this, we're going to roll a blunt. I haven't rolled my blunt yet. Do you guys know how to roll a blunt? Do you want to learn? Okay, so somebody sent an email to Buffy because he's protesting pedophiles. So he's going to join this Enough is Enough protest. And he did do some research and he showed the record. There you go, Buffy. He did some research. He looked at the website. He showed the record. He has documentation. Yeah. Okay, so Enough is Enough protest. These are the things I want you to look at. There's an attorney. I believe he's in Virginia Beach, and his name is Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson. I would like to talk to him if we can get a hold of him. I would like to talk to the prosecutor to find out why they dismissed the charges. There were a whole slew of charges. There are text messages between this pastor and a 17-year-old. And Buffy's theory, wherever he gets it, probably from the other people, is that the church paid the prosecutor to dismiss the charges. I don't know. But I'd like to find out who the prosecutor is, talk to the prosecutor. I'd like to talk to Tim Anderson. I'd like any information relevant on the Rock Church and John Blanchard, the pastor. Anyway, he stepped down, and once all the charges were dismissed, he reinstated them. Now, they have issued a statement, the church has, that anybody who talks about this or talks out against them will be sued. Sound familiar? Virginia Beach, Virginia, baby. Okay, so here's what did upset me about the conversation last night. Like, of course, in the chat, there's like, this is what Aunt should be doing. They should be protesting this. Agreed. Agree. And we can. And we will. So, but what got my ire up was that they're acting like this is new, people. Men, especially like Buffalo Man, they think this is new. They think this is some phenomena that has all of a sudden sprung up in the world, and pedophilia and rape and is spreading. No, 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 no. It's been there. It's been there since the beginning of time. It's been there the whole time. The difference is we're talking about it. That's the difference. It's not new. It's not growing. People are speaking up about it. That's the difference. People are taking the time to, and when I say people, I mean women. Women are speaking. And that's allowing the men that get abused to speak. It's being Rumrose. Read the ancient texts. Read the ancient texts. It's been going on since the beginning of time. Matter of fact, there didn't used to be marriage age was a whole different thing. One of the reasons we set marriage age at 18 or the age of adulthood is because here in the United States, people decided that education was important. We figure by 18, your education should be done. And at that point, you should be able to make those choices. I think you're right, Jenny Smith. There's been some inspiration. But now Buffy, he wanted to protest us, but now all of a sudden he's jumping on the pedo bandwagon. Why? Why? That wasn't his thing before, but it's picking up steam. And you know what? I don't want this to turn into another satanic panic or another witch hunt. And this protesting the drag queens and stuff, that's another satanic panic. That's another witch hunt waiting to happen. You can't prove anything nefarious is happening at these shows. You can't prove that any of them are groomers. Let me plug in for a minute. But anyway, I haven't been to church in a while. And I wasn't going to, so I just might go to church Sunday. It's okay to build your channel. I mean, if that's your goal, to get goals and get views, build your channel, whatever you're doing, you need to do those things that will build it, that will make it grow. Personally, that's not my number one goal. Like, growing a channel is not my goal. But getting my message out is my goal. And in order to get the message out, you have to Paradise Pete. Let's talk about that in a minute. Remind me, don't let me forget. I will answer that question. Where was I? See, I'm off. Okay, so back to your question, Paradise Pete. Do I support drag shows with kids? So, this is where I stand. Parental rights. It's in the Constitution It's one of the primary rights. When we go to court, the constitutional right of parents to raise their children is very, very strong. Okay, that's why homeschooling has to be allowed. That's why your choice of church, all this stuff. So, in my opinion, it's the parent's choice. Um, People take their children to stuff all the time where women are scantily clad, shaking their booty, shaking their titties, and they think it's cute. You know, we dress a whole family up, put them next to two big buxom women in bikinis, and take pictures with guns, and we think that's cute. But a man dressing up in costume and sitting on a stage reading a story, a children's story, is not sexualizing. But that is. We take our kids to pirate festivals, and there's mermaids dressed in seashell tops. And the kids are going up and talking to them and touching them. Is that sexualizing? It is if you have a fantasy about fucking mermaids. So I know my children. I know what conversations I've had with my children. I know how mature or immature they are. And therefore, I think it's my choice. Do I think parents should be taking their kids to drag shows that emulate strip clubs? No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. But you know, if it's not actually, I think it is illegal most of the time. But as far as, you know, if I take my grandchildren to a pride event, a pride parade, and you know, there's some dude with a dog collar on, they're not going to get all freaked out because of the conversations that we've had, because of the exposure that they've had. It's not going to be a big deal to them. However, they know private parts are off limits. It's and the internet, we've been saying for since it began, or since it's been in the public realm, that parents are responsible for monitoring what their children are doing on the internet. We can't keep them away from it. If we keep them away from it, they'll be behind. They won't be able to function in 20 years, you know, when they're grown. So keeping them away from it, I don't believe is the answer. Teaching, talking, listening, paying attention, going into their stuff and seeing what they're doing. You can't, yeah. Anyway, parental rights. I am a strong advocate for parental rights. I'm an advocate for homeschooling. I'm an advocate for, many things when it has to do with parental rights. Drag is the outfit. Yeah, it's a costume. It's like anything else. Going to a circus, going to the theater, going to like I said, a pirate event. Going to, maybe we go to a Halloween vampire show and there's sexy vampires. What the hell, you guys? The TV commercials sexualize your children. The billboards sexualize your children. This world sells on sex. Sex sells. Sex sells. Do you hear me? Sex sells. That's why all the major manufacturers, clothing designers, cigarette companies, they're going to try to include sex in their advertisement, or sexiness, or exuding a sense of sexiness. Sex is everywhere. You have to communicate with your children and teach them what's okay and what's not okay in your circle. Sex with children is not okay. This is a cover-up. Them protesting those drag shows is a cover-up for their homophobia. That's what it is. So now that they've picked out a possible real pedophile, I'm on board. Let's go. Yes? So I hope somebody can do a little bit of research for me. Okay, there's another thing. America, are you in here? Because I had a question. You don't bring your kids to sex, period. Newfie girl, that's true. You shouldn't bring your kids to an orgy. But do you bring your kids to truck shows where big tittied women are in bikinis shaking their boobies and their booties? Do people bring their kids to that? Yeah, they think it's cute. Yes, the lessons need to be taught at home. I agree. Yeah, so all okay. So Echo, yeah. So I would like to investigate that more and find out what these uh so-called family-friendly events are like. I haven't been to one. I don't know anybody who's been to one. They can get the wrong interpretation, and that's why the parents should be here. Even in church, you guys, when we were heavy in church, I sat right next to my children and preached the whole time the preacher was preaching. You don't tell my kids you're going to go to hell for masturbating. The Bible does not say that. And you don't tell my kids you're going to go to hell for dancing. And they would be up there preaching one verse, and I would have my kids looking at another verse. It does. If you're gonna watch a movie, it's parents' rights whether they want to take their kids to a rated R movie or not. If you're going to take your kids to a rated R movie, you better have a discussion with them. No, Buffalo Man, there's no hate. There's no hate at all. In fact, uh, there's just not any hate. We actually are in agreement on something today. So I was wondering, is America here? Because there's this rumor going around that America was sending Red a whole bunch of background checks. Paradise Pete? Yeah, no, I don't think anybody's okay with the way Red talks. If they're in Red's chat, for whatever purpose. Yeah, Newfie Girl is fine with Bandit and all the other pedos in the group. There's no hate, Buffalo Man. We love them all. Let's see. Where do we get the pictures? Yeah, Echo, where did the pictures come from? Did you go yourself and see them? You know, okay, you guys, let's get away from talking about people that aren't in the chat. Good morning, Riddle. I love you, by the way. I'm reading. No, well, we don't have hate either. You got that all wrong. We're not going to talk about AP. So let's Echo. Let's focus on the events that we have proof that are too risque for children. And there's other ways to handle that. Writing letters. We don't need a whole bunch of militia armed people Going and intimidating children and families? We don't need to do that. Yeah, I would like to get somebody that I know and trust to go inside and take pictures. And Buffalo Man, I just want to say, since you're here, when you went to the event last weekend, I was so disappointed. I think it was last weekend. I was so disappointed that you didn't do more interviews. Like there were so many people there that you could have interviewed and or asked questions, found out who they were, what they were doing, why they were there. So that's a good idea. If that's what you believe, Buffalo Man, he says, I'm working with my local Senate to make these shows 18 plus. That's awesome. If that's what you believe, I think that's a good idea. But you have to understand that you're going down a slippery slope when you start regulating other groups' activities, behaviors, and what they're allowed to do. You also open the door for more regulation on your group and your ideas and your beliefs. And yes, we're not going to reach people through violence and intimidation. Yeah, Buffalo Man, why don't you get somebody on your team to go to one of these shows, some of these shows, and take pictures? Yeah, I said I was a little bit disappointed in Buffalo Man for not doing more interviews. I also understand that he's learning and growing and he'll gain more skills every time. But stop trying to say you're neutral media, Buffalo Man. You're not neutral media. And if you are, you have to learn to be quiet. Like, ask questions, don't spout rhetoric. Do what myself? Long hair, big brow. What do I need to do myself? You have sunglasses that film and take pics? That's cool. Oh, I've done a lot. I've done a lot. Do it yourself. Do what myself? I do a lot all the time. I have so many projects going on. And I've been a protester my whole life. Yeah, I plan on it. I plan on going to a show. I do. I wanted to go to the story hour that was in North Carolina, but I didn't get to do it. I was with my family. Yeah, Buffalo Man, why are you still listed on 1776 website? We were talking about that before you got here. A pair of what? Jenny. A pair, what do I need a pair of? I forgot already. Thanks, Shannon. It's not right. I hate it. I got to take it back. Oh, the glasses. Yeah, I wish I had some of those. I really need something that will. Okay, okay. I support Buff on that since folks. Paradise Pete, do you not believe in parental rights? What rights do parents have to raise their children as they see fit? How do you rectify that? I would like to hear from you on that. I almost pushed the button so people could call in today. But no, he doesn't have to. But but as long as he keeps saying he's not associated with 1776, and he's listed as a official streamer and member on their website, we're going to keep pushing him on it. So he can choose to answer or not. Rudy, hi, good morning, Jim. Oh, did somebody tell me to shut my mouth? You guys, I don't care. They can say stupid shit. Right. He did. And they've researched it, and we thought he was going to take care of it, but he's still listed. So, long hair miss, I'm sorry you don't understand. We've tried to explain it and explain it and explain it. We have lots of things. We can only be in one place at one time. Well, unless there's four of us, we can be in four places at one time, but then we're alone. We can't do it all the time. Lori, Kay, children can't go in a bar. Are you kidding me? I grew up in the bar. I grew There didn't your parents used to be allowed to take you to the bar. We would play pool. After that, there are clubs like the Moose Club. I learned to dance in the Moose Club, shuffleboard, all kinds of family activities with drinking allowed. Do you not go to family reunions where the family is drinking, or keggers up in the mountains where the whole family's drinking beer? No, we are not a group. We are not a group. But you all group us together and say, why don't you go protest that? And I'm saying, I can only protest in one place at one time. And there are other people that I want to be protesting. Yeah, Jenny, we used to be able to buy cigarettes and alcohol and all kinds of stuff with just a note. Paradise P, I don't have any hate. Well, I hate pedophiles and rapists, but I don't have any hate against anybody else. I don't want people who believe like the 76ers to take over my America. I love my country. I fought for my country. Oh, you know what? I wanted to play a game eventually. Like, let's do it now, in fact. But yeah, I've been going to bars. It all depends on how your parents act, man. It's up to the parents. The parents are responsible. If your parent brings you to a bar, matter of fact, every New Year's Eve, my grandpa used to take us to the whorehouse for New Year's Eve dinner for barbecue in Rollins, Wyoming, by the railroad station. And there was drinking, and there were hookers walking up and down the stairs. And we had a family activity in the other room. So, but my parents were watching us. They knew where we were. They knew what room we were in. You know, if your parents are going to take your children to an event where there's always alcohol at the car shows, the truck shows, the tractor shows. There's usually alcohol. There's alcohol everywhere. How are you going to tell me children shouldn't be around alcohol? Yes, Echo. Okay, thank you. I'm glad we agree on that. Most establishments, children can go if they serve food as well. Paradise Pete, apparently you're not who I thought you were, because you would not be talking to me like that. maybe American Girl, let's talk to him. Maybe we can help him to understand what we're talking about. I'm sorry I'm so far behind in the chat. You guys talk faster than I can read. Noofy Girl, are you talking to me? When's the last time I protested? You've been watching me for months. What are you talking about? And my protests aren't just on the street. Do you think I don't make phone calls, write letters, wear t-shirts, donate to whatever? Worse is a bankruptcy, yeah. Right, Jim. Texas just had another groomer show. That's true. Calling it Fab 4 is grouping. I mean, if you haven't seen lately, it's not a group. It's not a group. We do things together sometimes. And we do talk, but we don't all agree on the same things, and we don't protest in the same manner. He's not answering our question. He's still a Santa's helper. Used to. What are you talking about, Noofy Girl? Used to. You saw me a couple weeks ago. Protests are ongoing. My truck is a driving protest. Did you see my flag, Noofy Girl? Did you see my new flag? Yeah, I got paid today. Somebody sent me a flag as a gift. Did you see? How about that? There's my protest. And there are 2 female Army veterans living in this house or in this compound. So somebody sent me this flag. They were gifts. And I'm so excited about them. That's a protest. That's another way of protest. I'm in a constant protest. Yeah. I mean, you guys talking about kids not being around alcohol is ridiculous. This country was founded on fucking alcohol. Oh, maybe we should roll my blunt before I get overly excited. Let's turn it. Let's see if I can teach you how to do this. By the way, I'm in Virginia. Weed is legal in Virginia. It's legal to smoke, have. It's just not legal to buy and sell. So, somebody gave it. It's legal to give and share. So, we start with a backwoods or a game leaf or something else that has the leaf tobacco. Of course. This is Cherry Durban. I really like this one. to my tray. Got that in Colorado. I have a shirt just like that. My boy. We might decorate the boy's hair today too. He got some new bows. It's a nice bud. It's not even, it was bigger. It was about this big. But in Hawaii, we used to grow them probably, where's the camera? Probably this big. Are you guys chatting at all? Buffalo Man, there's no hate over here. Why do you keep saying that? 76 is the hateful one, hateful group. What right do we have to tell streamers what they should be out doing? I'm a protester before I'm a streamer. Protest Fox News for having Caitlyn Jenner. Well, just hold on, Paradise Pete. Okay. I'm going to ignore the chat for a minute. I don't have time for hate. I don't hate anybody. I do believe that people have rights to live their life a certain way, the way that they see fit. That's the pursuit of happiness. If somebody wants to dress up in drag and read stories and that makes them happy, and the parents are happy to take their kids to listen, that's their pursuit of happiness. When it comes to sex, sex must be consensual, and children cannot consent. Children and inebriated people cannot consent. So, I'm not paying attention, girls, so cover for me in the chat, my friends. It takes, for me, it takes well over a gram to roll a blunt. Probably 2, at least. So, Buffalo Man, did you hear? I want to join you at your protest on Sunday. So, I hope that's not a problem. I've been wanting to protest churches for a long time. Churches are a breeding ground for pedophiles, have been forever. And grooming, the perfect place for grooming, where you tell your children to obey adults and don't speak out against the religious leaders and just suck it up and forgive and for your own salvation, move on and don't hold hate. Well, anybody who's been sexually abused in any manner knows that that goes with you for the rest of your life. So, fuck the forgiveness, fuck the moving on. How about we change the system? How about Buffalo Man, we start holding people accountable for what they're doing? How about you start having conversations with other men that are around you? No, Buffalo Man. Yeah, Riddle. Well said. Buffalo Man, for you especially. Just sometimes don't like the company you keep, the things you say, and the way you're doing things, but I don't hate you. And I love the direction that you're going right now. Actually, if you could distance from 76, but freedom of association is part of the Constitution as well. So you're allowed to associate with whoever you want. And then I'm free to voice my opinion that you're not a neutral journalist as long as you're associated with 76. What is your goal for your channel, Buffalo Man? Do you have a mission statement? What is your primary goal? So, you see what I did? I just emptied the tobacco out. So I've always got extra tobacco. I used to save it in a Ziploc bag and give it to people who were down and couldn't afford cigarettes. I don't have anybody like that here, so just put it in there like you're gonna roll up a cigar. Now, if I was doing this really properly and wanted to show off, I would just lick the leaf and then stick it somewhere that would hold it together while it dries. But I'm lazy and always in a hurry, so I wrap a paper around it to hold it together. Usually I have the big zigzags, but I'm out, so I have to use two small ones, or 1.5. I have a rolling machine. I can't make it work. I never have been able to use a rolling machine. And I can't roll joints. My joints are always pregnant. Always. I've never been able to roll a decent joint. I had a friend that could roll joints that looked just like cigarettes by hand. All right. There we go. Funny, this is kind of funny shape, but there it is. Why does everyone feel entitled to know other person's business, who he talks to? Because he's made himself a public figure, Christy. I don't understand why you guys don't get that. Once you make yourself a public figure, you open the door for everything. Do you think I didn't know once I went on YouTube that people would look into my background and try to find stuff? They couldn't find much negative, so they had to make up stories. But yeah, when you make yourself, and it's like when you make yourself a public figure, you open up a whole new book. Okay? You're now open to more talk, you're open to more protesting. Like, everybody's mad that people are going to other people's houses, which, I haven't been part of, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I'm saying there might not be a time I wouldn't do it. I don't know, but um at this point, they thought it was okay to go protest Fauci at his house. Yeah, the convoys were doing that, right? Well, that was okay. But we can't go protest Oreo at his house? Oreo's a public figure. I've made myself a public figure. If you want to protest me at my house, just come on down and I'll show you where the public easements are. And you can stand there all day and all night if you want. If you're a heavy chatter, that can make you a public figure. I agree. No, Pippi, not all the streamers are members. We understand that. We never said all the streamers are members. We said that Buffalo Man is a member. You notice how many of them got away as soon as TPC broke up? How many of the streamers got out of the way? I gotta find an ashtray too. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, what if there's an event at somebody's house and I open it to the public? You wish you could smoke this? Why can't you? I believe it's legal where you're at as well. Oh, Shelly, I'm reading your comment. We're not degrading Buffalo Man at all. Matter of fact, I've seen people say good stuff. I've said specifically we like the way you're going, Buffalo Man, and that it's a learning curve. Interviewing, journalism, it's a learning curve. YouTubing, it's all a learning curve. Christy, well, was it okay when the MAGAs went to Fauci's house? Was that okay? Like I said, I don't care if you come to my house. I no freedom of association. Long hair miss, freedom of association. He can join, he can belong to any group he wants. However, his status in my book is diminished because of his affiliation with 76. And the fact that he verbally renounces 76 and says that he's not a member, but he's still listed as their streamer, as a member, it makes it confusing and it makes it hard to believe what else he's saying. And as long as he's part of 76, I have a right to remind people he's part of 76. I know, Cheyenne. Cheyenne, are you from Wyoming or... Because that's where I grew up, Cheyenne, Wyoming. Weed Tifa. Okay, let's see. Did I get through all this? You guys, I have the U.S. Attorney's address for in West Virginia. If anybody wants to file a report about what happened in West Virginia, email me. I'll send you that address and name. I have an email address for the U.S., another U.S. attorney that's doing an investigation. So if anybody's interested in sending reports, I have a couple of addresses. They asked him if he wanted to be removed, and he said no. Well, he insinuated to Lori that he was going to take care of it and get removed. See you later, Paradise P. Have a good day. He said he did ask them to remove it. Okay, I missed that. Riddle, it's pluckthepatriarchy@gmail.com. Buffalo Man, liar is Liar. Who's the liar? Who? I missed something. Who are you calling a liar and why? Because they said that you asked to be removed and they haven't done it yet. And if that's the case, let us know and we'll help you get removed. It is his own business. We're just having a discussion. He's here and we're having a discussion. Thank you, Riddle. And by the way, Jenny found my list, so does Buffalo Man want to take out some POs? I'm just saying, in some people's opinions, Buffalo Man would have more validation if he would get his name taken off the website. Yes, the ROs are stupid and illegal and unconstitutional and a waste of resources for people that really need them. Okay, so let's talk about this book of protesters. Is there anything else I need to address? I went through a lot of stuff and took notes yesterday. I still got more to go through. But I want everybody to know I appreciate your emails and messages. I already said all that, right? I'll say it again. When you don't hear from me and you write me and say that you, because I gave my word, spreading lies and spreading hate. Buffalo Man, who is doing that? Nobody's doing that. You guys, that's your rhetoric. If you don't like what I'm saying, you're going to say I'm spreading hate. You know what? I do have the option of starting my stream and having people call now. And I almost set it up this morning so somebody could call in. But I thought, especially early on, I just wanted to talk privately. Plus, I didn't know if anybody was up yet. We've been on here an hour already. Buffalo Man, I'm very, very open. Nobody's attacking him. We're discussing 76 lies. No you don't believe in putting out ROs? Right, right, right. They wouldn't believe the truth. Okay, Christy says, Buffalo Man, they wouldn't believe the truth even if every single court in the country showed them the truth. Waste of energy. They live to keep the conspiracies going for their investigating. Christy, who is they? What truth is it that they aren't listening to? It's not lies, it's opinions. Opinions. I haven't seen. Okay, do we have to start using the word allegedly? Allegedly? Okay. Facts don't matter to them. Who? You guys, come on. Let's not attack each other. We have a dialogue going. As long as you're putting the facts out there, whether somebody absorbs them or not is up to them. Okay, they is you and Lori and Vaughn. Ah, Wizzy. Hi, Wizzy. Let's talk about issues and not people. Let's talk about the issues. That you're a member of 76 is a lie. Okay. Can you please get them to remove you from the website? But that's your business. From now on, I'm going to take your word for it. Okay. You told me that. I'm going to assume that they are lying. Okay. From now on. I still don't agree with bullying people at pride events, especially when you can't prove there's any pedophiles there. When he says it, nobody said we didn't believe it. We said we want to investigate further. Wizzy, who has won the ROs and who has lost? That tells you who lies. There you go, Riddle. You have your First Amendment here. Use it wisely. Do not attack or broad brush anyone. Thanks for coming in this morning, Riddle. And thank you too, Buffalo Man and Wizzy. And your friends that are Christy, all your friends that are in here with you. All right. Sinsin is sweet. Lori, you're absolutely right. Buffalo Man can do what he wants, and we don't have to agree. It's okay for us to disagree, and it's okay for us to say we disagree. We're not threatening to come to his house and shoot him if he doesn't get his name removed. Okay? We're just saying that he would have more credibility with certain people if he would take his name off their list. You ordered some poop buckets? Nice. Do they have seats? That's what I want to know. If the bucket doesn't have a seat, okay, all you have to do is get a pool noodle and cut it down and then slit it down the middle so that it fits around the top edge of the bucket. And then you have a softer cushion to sit on. I'm not cool with it either, Riddle. And I'm sorry. Christy, what issue do you think we should be focused on? Yes, caps because of bad eyes. Christy, what is the issue that you're focused on? What is your drive? What is your main issue? Okay, Buffalo Man, thank you. So Buffalo Man says, my YouTube videos are free to use as long as my logo stays on it and it's not being used for hate. So, is that a blanket okay to restream you? I think it's smart to let people restream you. I don't care if people restream me. Echo, absolutely. David had many opportunities to, even if he was bullshitting, to say to us, you're right. Why are you? It's a joke, Wizzy. It's a joke. Because everybody has to poop. Everybody poops. And something has to be done with the poop. The poop has to go somewhere. And when you have life on the road or in a parking lot, where your poop goes becomes a topic of conversation. I can tell you all about pooping in different environments. What was his excuse? Cunning since I'm not 76. Stop. Wizzy, seriously, I would think that you would a man, I mean, you've been places, you've done things. This is bullshit. Should be bullshit for someone like you. You should have real things too. For children, that's who talks about poop. You don't poop, Wizzy? You don't poop? You got a magic formula so you don't have to poop? Really? Vampires don't poop and they don't eat. I know, Shannon. So, people who live in a house take pooping for granted because all they got to do is go sit on a toilet and flush. And they know they don't think about what happens to their waste, okay? But when you live on the road, if you're a rubber tramp, if you're a dirty kid, if you're a hitchhiker, if you're a train jumper, if you're whatever, life on the road, you have to think about how you dispose of your poop and your pee. And people who care about the environment should be thinking about it. You know, all water goes back into the aquifer, all of it. All the sewage eventually goes back into the same aquifers that we drink out of. We should send Wizzy a poop bucket. Let's send him one that says pluck the patriarchy while you poop. Lori K, I'm happy with Buffalo Man's decision to go to this church. Not that it's any of my business, but I'm just saying, kudos for that decision. Buffalo Man, you're not independent. Please. You can become independent. Even the cop told you weren't independent. Your actions and your words while you're out there tell us that you're not independent. I care. I care. I want to see some good independent live stream journalists rise up. So back to Wizzy. Wizzy, there's so much more important stuff for you to do than than making fun of TikToks or following the rodents or following the ants or the rodents or following the ants or whatever. Come on. Who is Sparrow? What is Sparrow's real name? What kind of documentary is Sparrow making? Where's this investigation? Is Ashley Babbitt really dead? Answer these questions. Do you have connections, Wizzy? How about you do some real investigative journalism and answer some of the questions everybody has? Where's the money coming from? How much influence does Russia have? How much influence does Putin have on these movements? Exactly, Buffalo Man. If anybody doesn't want to see what you're doing, stay off the stream. But I mean, you don't do you want an echo chamber in your stream? If you have an echo chamber, you're not independent. If people aren't allowed to say, "Hey Buffalo Man, I think you're wrong for standing with the Proud Boys in this situation," then you have an echo chamber in your stream. Yes, Ashley is dead. Sunny, have you seen her body? I don't dox anybody, Wizzy. I don't know what you're talking about. And I really don't want to be involved in streamer wars, but you guys came in here and started talking. Oh yeah, Mama Bear Sally. So when I lived in Oklahoma, I had well water and it was, oh my gosh, the most delicious water because I had an amazing filtration system. Because I had foster children, so the water had to meet state standards. So I had this fancy filtration system. And then, of course, we had septic and we had to get it pumped out a couple times a year too. But I tell you what, if you stop flushing your toilet paper, that will solve a lot of problems. And man, I hope so. And I hope to see that show through your work in the future, that you are independent. I would like to see you act and speak independent. You can't spew hate at the drag queens if you're independent. You need to report, ask questions. No, nobody owns you. Nobody owns you. Do your thing. Do your thing, man. We're just having a chat. Are you guys getting all excited? Are you getting upset? Nobody owns me either. Nobody tells me what to do. But 76 is trying to own me, aren't they? They're trying to tell me where I can go, what I can say, who I can say, what state I can go to, what event I can go, what words I can use. That's called tyranny. But they're the ones that want to take over our government, are the ones who practice tyranny. Here comes the snow. Are you in the snow, Mama Bear Sally? Von tent. Yes, Von tent is good tent. You're for hire? Oh, you're not a streamer for hire. That's a good idea, Bobby Joe. That's an excellent idea. She says, go to Meg's chat. He's live and ask him yourself why Buffalo Man's still on it. Yeah, well, we were asking Buffalo Man because he's the one that's ultimately responsible for where his name is and what his affiliations are. But why don't some of y'all run over to Mags and ask him why Buffalo Man's still listed? I'm going to get a cup of coffee real quick. Hey, Jenny, do you know what that third gift? Do you know what I want to use it for? The third gift that you sent me? I bet you can guess. I hope you're not on company time. Oh, that's a good point. Are you supposed to be at work, Buffalo Man? Hope it's your lunch break or something. By Wizzy standards, I suck big time. I treasure. Look, I can't. I try to watch Wizzy's station sometimes, but I don't. Honestly, I don't. Somebody has to specifically send me there. David's tent did it right. David's tent did it right in DC, Jenny Smith says. They made a statement publicly denouncing any affiliation with the 76ers. The veteran group did too, remember? Pot. No, Jenny, but in the right direction. Did you see the T video? There you go, Christy. Trying to convince Buffalo Man he's being used is what? He is being used. They're all being used. We're being used. I'm being used. It's all a show. Buffalo Man, have you? You know what? He doesn't have Lipru. I don't know. Last time I researched copyright law, Buffalo Man's doing it just right. All he has to do is put the copyright symbol or say that it's copyrighted. I don't know, riddle me. If I was a boss and my employees were sitting in chat when they were on my dime, I'd be upset. But don't nobody be calling Buffalo Man's work or anything. That's stupid. No spamming, no mass calling, no well, you can report terroristic threats and stuff like that, but no, I don't do that here. 18 plus, we go away. Maybe on Sunday we can talk about that, Buffy. Do you hate it when we call you Buffy? If you do, I'll stop. I don't hate it when y'all call me Plucky. But I do want to clarify one thing. Um, oh, Lip Proof said that. You need to keep your cameras off the children. They timed you out for asking why that. Well, there we go. That's how that tyranny works. There you go, Buffalo Man. It's your battle, dude. Max falling asleep. Santa's talking. Where's Santa talking? On Mags? Who has children? Mags times me out and remove my question. Buffalo Man, have you raised any children? There's undercover everywhere, May, and everywhere the Proud Boys are, you can guarantee. Anywhere I don't know, Buffalo Man, all those, you're right, Buffalo Man. Anything in public is filmable. Buffalo Man, if you don't want your kids on the live stream, leave them with a babysitter. They do not belong there. Bingo. If you don't want your children on live stream in the public, it's your responsibility to keep them out of the camera's way. Exactly. Yes, Fiddle. If people have a problem with their children on cameras, then don't take them to a public protest or show where everyone is filming. It's really quite simple. If you don't want your vehicle filmed, don't take it in public. Anything in public, anything in public where the eye can see. You cannot trespass the eyes. Anything in public that the eye can see is filmable. Trish, what I hate is the grown men screaming at children, scaring them. You can say they are screaming at the parents, but the children don't know that. That's what I don't like. They have big, scary men with masks and guns, and it's ridiculous. Yelling at children. What kind of world is this that they're growing up in right after they finally get out of lockdown for 2 years? The hell? Hey, Wizzy, a Buffalo man. Did you see I'm a true patriot now? I have flags. Did you see that? I'm a real patriot. Let me show you again, just in case you missed them. You always get to see my double chin, I know. Ha! I have flags. I'm a patriot, not a patriot. I love my country. I don't love how things are happening right now. I love my country. So, let's talk about things that we love about our country. The pink one. I love it too. I love it. Thank you, Jenny, again. Thank you. Some children are strong enough and wise enough to be in protests. Yes. Some parents raise their children to protest. I was in the railroad strikes with my father in the 70s. Unions, what did they call them? What do they call the people that cross the picket line? What are those people called? Jim, I think the Proud Boys are scary. But it's not just the Proud Boys anymore. Buffalo Man, you ran into a couple of groups. And I was so hoping, I was watching you that day, and I was so hoping that you would interview some of them and ask some questions like who they are and what their goals are and why they were there and what their overall mission. Scabs, yes. Thank you, Jenny. Scabs. No, nobody needs a press pass, blah, blah, blah. Just like my dog doesn't need a fucking paper to be a service dog. Yes, Shannon. They're a bunch of garbage. You know, unless you're work for a main media station and they issue one. So no children are allowed in public. What the fuck? That child was simply walking with his father and you stuck a camera in his face. Yeah, that's not right. That's rude. Who did that, May? I don't think we should be harassing children. The infiltrators dressing up as Proud Boys. Yes. There's you guys there's alphabets everywhere. I hope you understand that. They're everywhere. They're in all these groups. Santa is begging for legal fees. And I still see your comment at Lori on Meg's chat. Oh, Lori's comment is still there? Did you just say children should be at these events and filmed? Red Mama puts her naked babies on live stream with pedophiles in the chat. What the hell is that? Oh, I'm sorry. No, we're not going to talk about her and if she's not here. Buffalo Man, can I please just make one suggestion? Try to take some of the comments, think about them not as attacks or insults, but maybe as constructive criticism. You know, I'm learning too. I need all the advice I can get. I need constructive criticism. I need pointers. I need one might be to fix my hair before I get on in the morning. Their parents put them in public. Yes, so filming them is one thing. You know, getting up close and getting in their face and asking them questions without their parents' permission would be another thing. Now, I don't know if there's a specific event the chat is talking about. I don't know. I didn't see it. Um, so I don't know what they're talking about. I think this is a good chat too, Cunning Stunt. Thank you. And I'm sorry I fell asleep on your show last night. I was there for quite a bit of it. I forgot and took my sleeping meds before, like 20 minutes before it was time for the show. I had totally spaced it out, but I was still there. Y'all did great. I love the reports. That I think that's awesome that you guys are being reporters, investigators. Parents have the choice. Okay, since in. I think we agree pretty much. Parents have the choice to bring their kids to any event, just as the streamer has a choice to not film kids. Even Gucci's turns her camera away from the kids. Yeah, out of respect, it is a good idea to be respectful with children. But that's, that everybody has to figure out what their line is, when they're willing to cross it and when they're not, and have some standards. But everybody's standards are going to be different. And that's what makes the world such an interesting place, is everybody is different. Everybody's views are different. Legal fees for what, Lip Prue? For what? Santa's begging for money for legal fees? Tell him I want my $2,000 for my attorney. I still haven't got my credit card paid off. Alpha males target the weakest to further their goals. I agree. I agree with that statement. But I'm an extreme feminist, right? I told my oldest son, we talk about this kind of a lot, or when we're together, we have pretty deep conversations about what's going on. And I told him, they called me an extreme feminist. He has this look that he does where he can raise one eyebrow. And he says, well, you are. I said, I am? And that was the end of that conversation. So I guess I'm an extreme feminist and didn't even know it. But they've taught me a lot of language, Antifa, anti-fascist, scab labor. I mean, they're broad brushing. Bobby Joe, I'm going alone as far as I know, unless I can get Garrett's off on Sundays. He might go with me. I don't suppose Buffalo Man will let anything bad happen to me. Did it go a long time, Cunning? Am I behind in the chat again, you guys? I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, Cunning Stunt, there is an irony, but that's the whole irony. And where's the balance? And that's what, my one of my nicknames, Irie Gypsy, Irie Gypsy Chronicles. So Irie means two things. If you say ire, it's like anger. If you say ire, it's like chill, cool, ja love, peace, love, all that. So that's the irony of the duality of life, okay? And what were we talking about? So here's the irony. When it comes to the Constitution, and the slippery slope and where we set the boundaries. And each generation has different boundaries. And that's why our Constitution seems to evolve. It seems to. And we want to, 1776, the MAGA Americans, I don't know, they want to go back to a strict constitution. And in a way, it's so broad, it's hard to do. It was left open for interpretation. And that's what the Supreme Court does then. The Supreme Court interprets based upon current standards, current environment, the needs and wishes of the people, supposedly. Now, we wish it represented the needs and wishes of the majority. It doesn't always, because we have people that have been sitting there forever that have their own standards. And instead of voting for what the people want, they insert their own morality. Is that making sense? I'm rambling now. When I was in law school, I belonged to the Federalist Society. I've always been into the Constitution. He's going back to drive. Wait, Bobby Joe. She says he's not grifting, for fuck's sake. He's going back to driving his truck for a while to make money. Goodness, LOL. So hold on, because he said under oath on the stand that he sold his truck and he is purposely homeless. He said that under oath on the stand. So now you're telling me that he's going to drive his truck and make some money. I think that's a great idea, but there's two people in court right now, aren't there? There's at least, wait, AP had court today, Lori had court. Who else had court? Okay, Buffalo Man, it was a short on YouTube, wasn't my footage, but at the end of it, the kid gives a PB a high five. Well, where does that come? That comes from the parents. And parents have a right to raise their kids with the values of the PBs if they want to. Yes, why doesn't he drop they need to drop the ridiculous ROs and quit being tyrannical assholes. All right, Buffalo Man, see you Sunday. Sounds good. Oh, Simpson. Good point. You'll protect me, okay? Maybe I'll protect you, Buffalo Man. What do you think about that? Maybe my bite's harsher than yours. That's Von Michelle. Good point. Buffy, I would like to believe J-Met won't be met with ROs when seeing you. Maybe not yours. Maybe nobody's. Maybe nobody's. Not David's. Jenny, David's able-bodied for what? He's not able-bodied for nothing but sitting in a lawn chair, taking naps, and eating. Bobby Joe, so this is what I think. Bobby Joe, is this what happened? Did he lease it to Big D and call that a sale? And now he's going to drive the truck for a while? Is that what it was? No news on the court cases yet. Squirrels question, what about squirrels? Huh. Thanks, Sin, for that update. Oh, I'm caught up. Hi, Georgia. All right. Can we get back to the book now? We've had a good chat. I've enjoyed it. Thank you. I'm going to read the introduction. I haven't read it. Yeah, he is using it, Jenny. Yeah. Okay. 6 months after Donald J. Trump was sworn in as 45th President of the United States, I got a call from a conference planner inviting me to speak at a big creativity conference in Las Vegas. She asked me to talk about the future of design. I have not looked at this book, guy. I mean, I've looked through it, but I haven't read it, so. Oh. She asked for a continuance to get a lawyer, so now he needs one too. Well, I'm glad she asked for a continuance to get a lawyer. And that's a good point, Mickey. If they're in court, why is he in somebody's chat? Oh my God. Lip Prue, that's right. That's how much it will cost. I don't know if I'm blocked on Wizzy's chat or not. Yeah, that's what he said, Jenny Smith. David, he said that he sold his truck and therefore he was homeless on purpose and he lived with Ma and Pa in their RV on Indiana Bob's property. That was his statement under oath in court. Anybody want this picture? This picture's for sale. Problem is, it takes shipping. Unless I'm coming to your state, I could bring it to you. Almost everything in this apartment's for sale. We can't watch the Origami World Championship. It's only on pay-per-view. I love it. But actually, I would love to see an Origami World Championship in Japan. That would be so cool. Court is over for the day. What time is it? Nobody's gone live yet. A truck driver might be a good job for you. Riddle. I loved it. I loved it when I drove alone. I didn't like driving team. Imagine that. But I like driving alone. And but I already had a kid. And like I said, it's not conducive to parenting. Cunning is blocked. Oh my God. Yeah, if they can't afford lawyers, maybe they should quit putting ROs on people. Oh, you know what, Georgia? That makes me happy to know that he doesn't have money for lawyers, though. Because the paperwork is going to be stacking up rather soon. No, we're not. I'm not filing ROs on anybody. I got other things to file. Hi, Musky Devil. I know I'm behind. It takes me a minute to catch up. Asking for a friend that wants to buy your table. Is your table for sale? They want to buy it. Which table? This one? I mean, which one? The yellow one? Okay, hold on. You'll have to tell me which table. Which table, guys? Big D needs legal fees? Another grift, I know. Crush on my oomph. You're gonna be helping me, oomph. I hope I'm catching up on your emails. God, I just was so sick. Okay, is it that table? Or is it this table? The pinup girl table? What table? Which table? No, that is our major purchase for this apartment. It's not for sale yet. Yeah, we paid actual good money for that. It's pretty cool. Everything else was thrift or free or Dollar Tree. I just asked on Mag's chat, what's the guarantee that Santa won't spend these lawyers' fees on another truck? Good point. Ariel. Yeah, Rydell is well, and that's what took me to DC was the evilness spewing out of his mouth. So at the dinette, let's talk about the dinette for just a second, because you guys might know exactly what I need. Somebody might know. But there is, look, see how the chairs match the table? Isn't that cool? Vaughn Michelle, I'm not going to answer that because I don't know for sure. We just have to wait to hear from her. I could only speculate. I think I know the answer. And a spot here. Bobby Joe, we ask a lot of questions here. That we went to DC to ask questions. And the problem is we did not get answers. We got insults and threats, and all we wanted to do was have a conversation. Donald just announced his major digital trading cards are now available for sale. Are you Donald Trump? Is he making playing cards? Right. Georgia, Bobby Joe, they don't answer. They block. They block, they insult, they scream, they yell, they talk over. They never answer questions. Look at the pink tree in the pink bedroom. It was perfect for this room. Gravel, pepper spray. Yep. We just keep asking, Bobby Joe. We just keep asking. And they keep blocking. There's some really cute. I insisted on this one. That one's so cute. Yep. Are you gelling? We heard that. David said Lori asked for continuance for court. Now David asking for grift money for attorney. Yep. Santa's helpers. Yep. We know. That's up to Buffy to take care of that. Good morning, Hissy Cat. 60,000. He wants to get the letter for oh my god. See? And you don't understand why we won't leave it alone? We could have turned around and walked away the day we were on the mall. If he would have just said, "You're right. I made a terrible mistake. I'm going to do better." And disassociate himself from fucking pedophiles. But no, he wants to keep if you if you people give him $60,000 to get a letter that doesn't exist, y'all are dumb as fuck. Shit. Now, you always get me worked up. That you guys want to know why I don't get online every day? There you go. That's why. Oh my god. No, Nurse D. There's no way it costs $60,000. Tell David to call Trump and get fucking Putin on the phone for his $60,000. Oh my Jesus. Ah. Of course, Megs doesn't understand. It's not important to me. What it's important to is Buffalo Man. It's his reputation. It's his channel. It's his it's his it's his name. It's his independent journalism that will not be considered independent as long as he's on that page. And as long as he's standing with the Proud Boys spewing the same bullshit they're spewing. In my opinion. In my opinion, the Proud Boys are spewing bullshit. Ariel, exactly. You guys, you have to step away from this shit. And we were going to try to talk about it on Doofus last night about the mental health of everybody that's involved. Not just those of us on the ground, but people. Yes. Riddle, I believe Bandit said that. I believe that's Bandit's story. But you guys, for mental health purposes, you have to step away. You have to take a break. You have to turn it off. I have to. I have to turn my phone off. I have to not answer phone calls from specific people just for a time to decompress and get my shit back together. And that's why you won't see me for days, because I don't need to come on every day to get hours and numbers and blah, blah, blah. I don't need to. Matter of fact, I probably need not to. All right. I got Mikla some Christmas bows. I was gonna have you help me put the bows in his hair, but you got me too busy trying to follow chat. Gonna drink some water now. Okay. This is the second paragraph. We're only on the second paragraph in the book. Oh yeah. They all have every pedophile has an excuse all over the country. Though this pastor at this church, I'm sure, has an excuse. Oh, are you gelling? What'd you get so pissed about? Oh my goodness. Somebody's gotta take care of this. Okay, paragraph 2. I'm a graphic designer and have owned my studio for 25 years, but I had no idea what the future of design held. Thanks to the election of a president who seemed to be systematically dismantling American democracy as we knew it, now this is the opinion of the author, okay? That's my waiver. This is not my opinion. I'm not saying if I agree or disagree. This is for discussion. This is the opinion of the author. I had no idea what the future of anything held. She asked me what I would like to talk about, and I immediately replied, all I can think about is the resistance. In the months leading up to the 2016 election, I worked to spread the word about the dangers of a Trump presidency, fundraising, and creating media for Hillary Clinton and other Democratic candidates. It didn't work, and along with the majority of Americans, I was angry. So I'm guessing this book is written by a Democrat. Her name is Bonnie Siegler. Let me see if I can catch up. Legend. Oh my gosh. They're all narcissists, Ariel. They're all narcissists. It's crazy how narcissistic they are. He, Ariel. Can we have a phone conversation, baby, baby, baby? Email me if we can. Pluckthepatriarchy@gmail.com. So, are you gelling? If we can figure out we need to rectify this. Where's the line? Where do we draw the line between letting parents have the right to parent their children the way they see fit and the morality dictated by the majority of society and what they believe is the sexualization of children? That is the job that the government tries to do. Legend is an awesome name. Legend is kind of a cool name. You guys did a great job. It's fine. But we'll get around to talking about the mental health issues, I think. It's going because it takes its toll. It takes its toll on the viewers, takes its toll on the actors. I know it's taking its toll on the streamers. Okay, where was I? Um She was angry. On the day after Trump's inauguration, I joined 400,000 protesters at the Women's March in Washington, D.C. It was inspiring and empowering, but I was still angry. I was also scared. That's a key word. When COVID started, scared. All that was scary for me. Not because of COVID either, because it was training. It was showing that the public will do whatever the government says. Lip Proof. The name of the book is here. Is it backwards to you guys? Like that? Signs of Resistance, a visual history of protest in America. And it has great pictures. So I'm going to share some pictures with you, but it's cool because when I was in I don't know why this is related. It kind of is. The symbolism. I took a class called Political Symbolism, and I found it very, very interesting. And, it's a study of propaganda throughout the history and how Hitler, propagandized half, I want to say half a world, but, many nations. And, anyway, I did my final paper and speech on are dreadlocks a political symbol? It was very, very interesting. I ended up going into a deep dive into Rastafarianism and hair, how different hairstyles can be political symbolism. I got an A, of course, but yeah. No, we're not doing. I don't want to talk about the shots. I want to talk about signs of resistance. Okay, I was also scared for as long as I can remember. My grandfather told me about his escape from Nazi Germany the day before Kristallnacht with my grandmother and my mother, who was 2 years old. Most of his family remained in Berlin, convinced that Hitler's hate speech was simply rhetoric. They perished in the Holocaust. Growing up under the weight of this history, it was impossible not to ask myself, what would I do in a similar circumstance? Would I have been able to see Hitler for who he really was? And more important, would I be able to act on my convictions? There's the question. You can see what's going on, but are you willing to act on your convictions? Or would I stand by and watch as one group of people was isolated and identified as the root of all evil? Which group of people are we identifying as the root of all evil right now? I don't know that much history about. I remember when I was in law school, Schindler's List came out, and I was in the Christian Legal Society, and we went to see the movie as a group. Echo, I understand as a Christian that is very concerning to you. Don't forget, though, we have a right to worship who and how we choose until we're violating other people's rights. Symbolism is a right. flags are a right. You know, Echo, a lot of the MAG Americans like to fly Nazi flags. That's a problem for me. And if you remember, it became a problem in the People's Convoy. And they finally said that you can only fly the American flag. How is that a freedom movement? Once you're dictating what flags you can fly. But it was bad press. It was bad press, and it was against their narrative at the time that everybody was welcome. So they started dictating what flags people could fly. And although the Nazi flags bother me, I went to a freedom movement. And I believe that this hunt on the pride events and the drag shows is the new satanic panic. And I don't like it. If anybody goes live with legal information, you guys let me know. Okay. It's hard not to draw parallels with Trump's America today. And I have a difficult time believing that his fear-mongering and racist, inflammatory words are just rhetoric. When the conference planner called me, I had already been researching what Americans had done in the past when they were angry, and in the process uncovered protest art that was so compelling, so inspiring, it stirred something in me decades, even centuries later. So I proposed a presentation on the design of resistance in America. The resulting 140 image presentation led to impassioned debate in the audience, and when it was over, conference attendees kept approaching me, requesting copies. I have to show this to my husband, my kids, my colleagues, they told me. Uh-oh, I gotta plug my phone in. Dang it. I did it again. Yeah, Echo. I saw a couple. Okay, let me hit upon this, Lori K. All the divisions will destroy our country. That's not necessarily true. The divisions are part of the balance. We have to have balance. If only one side dominates, everybody else is a minority and they don't have equal treatment. We have to have both sides. Well, it would be much better if we had multiple positions, multiple groups in power. But right now, we're in theory a democracy, but we're in reality a two-party system with people who would like to make it a monarchy. I don't know what the heck's going on up there. But if there's not good, if there's not evil, there's not good. If there's not dark, there's not light. If there's not the right, there's not the left. There has to be balance. Lori, who are you calling Satan? And if you're a Christian, you know there has to be good and evil. It's a constant battle between good and evil. Between God and Satan. In America, if one party takes over, we have Germany. We have Nazi Germany. We have a monarchy. Satan who divides. Okay. We need to start understanding and quit hating for our beliefs and our choices. Let me go on. Where was I? The introduction's not very long, y'all. It'll be okay. We're almost through it. Um anyway, so everybody's asking her for the pictures because they want to show it to everybody else. They told me, picking up on the urgency and passion of the protesters throughout history, and no doubt inspired by our country's resilience when faced with seemingly insurmountable challenges. And I want to tell a brief anecdote about that statement because my grandpa lived to be 98, 98, and he was in 4 wars and some other skirmishes, let's call them. And I talked to him. He learned to use computers and he used to play golf on the computer and do day trading and stuff like that. He did email. He didn't do social media, of course. Wanda Lisa, when are you going to tell the truth about Scotty? Scotty's not in the chat, and it's not for me to talk about Scotty. Scotty's his own man. So I don't know what you want to know. Why did my chat go away? You made Wanda Lisa, you made my yes, yin and yang, lemonade chick, exactly. We have to have a yin and yang to have Zen. So you're gonna have to be more specific. If you have a question that I have the answer to, but if you're here to gossip. So anyway, I asked my grandpa, I said, Grandpa, in the world of technology, you have seen so many changes because you can't, just as I thought, you have to give me the question. When, where, who, how, what, why? What is the question? You want me to play? Is this a new game? You give me the answer and I'll give you the question? Cover what up? He's not my boy. So back to my grandpa. Can somebody else try to find out what it is Wanda Lisa wants to know? But she can go straight to the horse's mouth, really. So I said, Grandpa, you came from an age when there were no cars, no TVs, no, no electricity. I said, and you've seen over the years so many changes, so many developments. Technology has soared. I said, what do you think is the most amazing development technologically? And he said, the most amazing thing he's seen is the way that America came together during World War II and the citizens sacrificed and uh, made bullets. And there you go. Ask Scott. Truth about Scott. He's a good soulful. Scott is very honest. I'll say that. I'm associated. So what am I guilty of, Wanda Lisa? What am I guilty of? Yeah. So anyway, I that was pretty touching that my grandpa was more impressed by the humanity of Americans and how they came together as one to for a common goal. Scotty and IP2. Yeah, Wanda, honestly, that IP2 stuff, like, I don't know anything about it. And I have asked and asked and asked if it's something that I need to know about. And because I find it kind of rather dull and stupid. But, you know, you what was that TV show where like they would play jokes on people in public, and maybe you'd walk by a trash can and the trash can would talk or something? Um Candid camera. Smile, you're on candid camera. I can't believe I came up with that. We were talking about TV shows the other day and nobody came up with that. Okay, so y'all didn't like my story about my grandpa. What the hell? Anyway, I'll send you our receipts of who's. You know what, Wanda Lisa? I would appreciate that very much. I sure would. As far as I know, we're all paid actors. I don't know what to tell you. Buffalo Man, Wizzy, Oreo, Scotty, AP, Lori. We're all fucking paid actors. Did you see what I got paid with? Wanda Lisa, did you see my gift? I'll show it off again. I mean, we've been on here fucking 2 hours or something. 2 hours and 28 minutes. I got paid. Somebody sent me a gift. It's on my Amazon list. If you go to the description in my description of my channel, there's a link. It says Pluck's wish list. I got another flag. See? I got paid. Somebody loves me. One of my viewers loves me. So anyway, what were we talking about? You have proof of who I'm working for? I mean, if you have proof who I'm working for, let me know. Because I need to collect my check. I mean, I need to pay that credit card off for my attorney. For real, for real. So I can get the heck out of here. It's cold. I need to go south. And now I'm thinking about staying to try to save some money to pay off that damn credit card. So, would you please tell my handler to get that fucking check in the mail? For sure, you have receipts and 400 trucks are coming. J-Met, you going to Indiana. Have any of you read The Art of War? Have you? I have not, but I have it on Audible. Who's hiding? And who is Wanda Lisa? Who are you, Wanda Lisa? Send me the receipts. Pluckthepatriarchy at gmail.com. Anyway, I haven't read The Art of War, but I want to. And I think I think the viewers don't send me money, Wanda. The viewers don't send me awesome oomph. The viewers don't send me money. Somebody sent me a donation for my legal fees. That's it. And I sent it straight to the credit card. And it put a dent. It put a nice dent in it, but it's still not paid off. Are you kidding? Michelle, Von Michelle, no one in this group covers for anyone if they are wrong. Believe me, we call each other out on our bullshit. Although we're not a group, we are friends, and we do protest together at times. And we call each other out on our bullshit. So, yeah, but we don't have to air it all publicly either. I keep hearing water, and you know why? It's because it's raining. Where's my dog? Miklos. 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 He needs to go outside. Are you under the bed? Hey, you better not potty in there. He doesn't like to go outside when it's raining. Yeah, we saw that, Nurse D. I saw that. I do not agree with Scotty's behavior. Some people. Okay, they're not here. We're not, so I don't want to go into that. Mel's putting Dad in the back seat with honor. Sandra, I know he said that. So, we were talking about the art of war. I'm just betting because the way people did war changed by country, by culture, by environment, by what am I trying to say? Geography. I'm trying, like in England, okay? War consisted of both sides lining up across the field from each other and marching toward each other and killing each other and see who has the most people in the end, and that's the winner. In America, the Native Americans taught the Europeans a different kind of war because the Native Americans could hide in the woods and the trees and the so the art of war is ever evolving as well. The art of protest is ever evolving. But I can imagine that telling everybody all your plans is not the best. Is not the best strategy. And then there's this other thing. I don't make commitments because when I make commitments, something changes and something gets screwed up. And Scotty's the same way. It's hard for him to make commitments. And then there's all these court dates. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen about that. Somebody should go protest Mel protesting Scott's mom. Why protest Scott's mom? What does Scott's mom have to do with it? Talk about doxing and going to people's houses and bringing innocent people into it. None of that's a problem for me. I don't know. Brett or red. Wanda Lisa's Brett or red. I'm sure. AP, how are you? Are you okay? Is this the real AP? Is everything okay with you? AP does go to character. Yes. But AP's here so she can talk for herself. Did you read The Art of War? Oomph. Have you read it? We should talk on the phone sometime. I really don't like to talk on the phone, but we should. Right. I mean, we're not supposed to protest David's mom. We're not supposed to even drive by David's mom's house by accident, but we're going to go protest Aunt's mom. Look, okay, I'm not even gonna. Oh, good. Okay. Why protest the old woman? All right, AP. See you later. Okay, back to the book. This book is a collection of visual expressions of resistance throughout American history. They include broadsides, postcards, posters, greeting cards, sculptures, paintings, ads, book covers, magazine covers, handmade signs, projections, and the backsides of scrap paper. They were created by artists, designers, and everyday men, women, and children who might not have had a lot of creative background, but certainly had a lot to say. In fact, as you'll see often, and this is so we're talking about art in paintings and sculpture and drawings, but we've also been experiencing over the past several months, actually the past year, a lot of art in action, right? Activity, theater, acting. When that puts on an outfit and dances around, that's art. When anyway, that's another form of art protest, okay? Acting, and there's this new form of protest which is online, right? It's happening in Twitter, it's happening on YouTube. Exactly. It's protected by the Constitution. And a lot of this shit that's being pulled on social media is going to end up being protected by the Constitution. It's got to evolve. And WYSIWYG, you have to understand that if my rights for you to protest acting are violated, yours can be too. I was active in the church for several years, and my sister from another mother called me and she said, "Oh, you guys, I have a appointment in 1 hour." Okay. Um she called me and she said they're having a gay rights parade. We're going to go protest. Do you want to come and join us? And I said, "Absolutely not." And she's like, "Why not?" And I said, because they have a right, just like we have a right to go hand out pamphlets and talk to people on the street. They have a right to go do their parade. And when you start inhibiting their right to free speech, thank you, America. Remind me at like 15 till so I can take a little break. Hi. But if you're going to inhibit their right to free speech, eventually somebody's going to inhibit your right to free speech. And that's what's going to happen to you jokers. You're going to turn around and find out that what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Remember that statement? That shows my age, doesn't it? Okay, back to the book. Where were we? We're talking about forms of protest. And sometimes the cruder the art, the more powerful the response. Okay, some people don't understand some of the crude techniques that people use. But sometimes when you can't get attention for your message, a cruder response will get a more powerful, or a cruder art will get a more powerful response. Okay. People used the weapons they had at their disposal, paper and pen. Their only client was their conscience. Every protest image was made because someone felt compelled to act out of a belief in what they felt was right. Hopefully, we can learn from these past movements and apply those lessons to our resistance today. While I was compiling this book, I went back and forth between rage and hope. Rage, because to quote a favorite sign at the Women's March, I can't believe we are still protesting this shit. Did you guys hear that statement right there? That's where I'm at. Like, what? My chat goes away and it won't come back until somebody talks. Like, I was protesting this shit 40 years ago. Oh, yeah, America, I'm sorry. I forgot all about that. I had moved on. Thanks, Vaughn, for bringing that up. You weren't here, so I moved on from that. Did you hear that? First of all, your only client is your conscience. My client is my conscience. Ant's client is his conscience. David Rydell's client is his conscience. Vontent is her conscience, okay? We have to be compelled on our own beliefs by our own and limited by our own conscience. That's where it is. And sometimes outrageous messages mean outrageous actions. Thanks, Oomph. Anyway, as a woman, I stand right here. I can't believe we are still protesting this shit. 20 years ago, I said 40 years ago. No, more than that. I'm 60. So 20 minus, no, 15 minus 60. What do you got? That many years ago, we were still fighting the same shit. Okay? And hope, because looking at these images reminded me that there have been other dark, shameful chapters in American history, and yet somehow democracy survived because we did what we do best. We kept fighting. You know who has to keep fighting in America today? Women. Women. We have to keep fighting. But you know what? Us old women can't carry the bag. And I know the young women are busy working and raising kids. Um, but we got to get the young women involved, people, and the young men. The boomers can't do it. And I know this audience, most of our audiences are boomer women. And we need to somehow touch the young women because they have to carry the torch and they have to decide what they want their America to be. Like, our time is almost past. We need to listen to them. We need to hear them. What do they want? It's not about what the ancient red-faced old white men want. What do the young people want? Oh my goodness. Why not, Jenny? We'll never be equal and get paid as much as men. Why not? Men are starting to take a more active role in child rearing. At least the men in my surroundings are. They're starting to take a more active role in the home. Yeah, America. I can't remember who wrote it, but I saw it. Somebody said that you've been sending the squirrels background checks for months. So, of course, it was in the chat. It was Red's chat, blah, blah, blah. So there's not much credence there, but I thought you might want to address that. So chapter 1 is the early years, America First. The spirit of resistance to government is so valuable on certain occasions that I wish it to be always kept alive. That was Thomas Jefferson. The spirit of resistance to government is so valuable on certain occasions that I wish it to be always kept alive. And that's why they put in the Constitution some of these protections, like the right to redress grievances with your government. Otherwise, we have a monarchy, we have tyranny, we're not even allowed to print a newspaper that says, Donald Trump is a Yahoo. Riddle, you have a right to disagree. I do see art in that. And I see protest in that. I see it as a form of protest. I sent Mel a background check back in DC because she asked for it. That's what I thought. Thank you for clearing that up. He sent Mel a background check in DC because she asked for it. For Americans in the Revolutionary era, the art of dissent was dictated by the technology available. With limited development of design tools, it was all about the words themselves rather than persuasion through style. So, in other words, it was pretty cute, crude, pretty crude pamphlets. What's it say? The true born sons of liberty are defied to meet under liberty. Oh, at Liberty Tree. Okay. The true born sons of liberty are going to meet at Liberty Tree at 8 o'clock. No, 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. This day to hear the public resignation. I don't know that word. Resignation under oath of Andrew Oliver, distributor of stamps for the province. So they're going to decide who's going to be the postmaster? Is that it? Oh, or he's going to be reassigned as the postmaster, maybe, or something like that. Oh, that's a resignation. Oh, they're going to accept the postmaster's resignation. Okay. All right. What's this? What the heck? And look, they couldn't even make very many of these. Oh, what's this? An emblem of the effects of the stamp? Okay, I'm interested in that one. Protests come in all sizes. This parody stamp was created to mock the Stamp Act. The skull and bones symbolize the death of the free press. Huh. All right. Let's see. We can dictate how anyone protests. We do have, hold on. There are restrictions. I need a bookmark. Oh well. There are restrictions to how we can protest, and it's time, place, and manner. So, there have been times throughout history where certain language would not have been used in public, even though we had the right to protest in public or pass out pamphlets or hang up flyers on the poles, but we didn't have the right to use certain words because it was considered rated triple X, right? Or something like that. So now we have time, place, and manner. So you'll notice, like, even with, encounters with the police in DC, the things that we would ask about. Okay, how far away do we have to be? Why, if we can't use that word, what can we use to replace that word? How high can the decibels be? What time do we have to be gone? Time, place, and manner. So there are limitations, there are rules. But in order to keep the Constitution as pure as possible, they try not to make those rules too restrictive. Okay? Right. Words weren't, and showing too much skin on TV, and, married people didn't even sleep in the same bed, and exactly. And all that evolves. Hey, Jim, I don't know who, 45 prior arrests for domestic violence, but we are supposed to pretend he is some. I don't know who you're talking about. No, Riddle. I don't think so. I don't like that either. So, um, this streamer wars shit, they're gonna have to work it out. I don't know. I'm not I'm you, I'm not the one you should be talking to about that. Oh my gosh, yeah, George Carlin did some funny shit, huh? Matter of fact, I think I might look up some George Carlin today. George Carlin does some funny stuff. He did a skit too about why we have to have houses to hold our stuff. You know, if we didn't have to have stuff, we wouldn't have to have a bigger house and a bigger house. So every time I downsize my house, I downsize my stuff. And hopefully one day I'll have like a backpack. No, getting court-martialed does not make you a patriot. But having a flag does, Jim. Having enough flags makes you a patriot. But I hate the American flag now. It gives me anxiety to see flags on cars. I came across a black Jeep passed me on the road the other day and I had a panic attack because there was a flag flying off of it. It was a Merry Christmas flag. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to go and get something to eat before my appointment. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed this conversation. And I'll see y'all later. Probably Sunday. Yeah, feisty mama. Yes, cunning. Bye, everybody. Peace out. Love. Have a good day.